Hey, Lana. Long time no see. What's it been? 8 years?
Allison? What do you want?
What kind of greeting is that? Aren't you happy to hear from your dear little sister?
What kind of greeting were you expecting from someone whose last words to you were, "Never contact me again"?
Wow, somebody's grumpy today.
Spit it out, Allison. What do you want? I don't have the time or patience to just chat with you.
Okay, geez. Must be that time of the month.
You have 30 seconds before I block your number.
Ugh, this is exactly why men don't like you, Lana.
15 seconds.
Your husband's name is Harry, right?
Yeah? And?
I remember him from your wedding. And at that time, I thought, if he's interested in you, he's probably not at all that great of a catch, so I didn't give him much thought. But about 6 months ago, I just so happened to see you walking together with him in the park. And when I saw him, wow, he's actually really, really hot. So the next day, I met up with him at a hotel. And we've been seeing each other 3 times a week ever since.
I see. I figured that's what this was about.
Wait, aren't you surprised?
Our divorce was just finalized today. Apparently, he met the love of his life and needed to live his truth. So it was you, huh? I guess that makes sense.
Oh, I guess I don't have to explain it then. That saves me a bunch of time, LMAO.
It is what it is. I've already got a new place to live set up, and I'm gonna move my stuff in tomorrow morning. So if you're gonna move in with him, do it tomorrow afternoon.
Roger that. Man, you don't have any luck, do you? I'm prettier than you, more charming than you. Our parents love me more than you. You must have known that. You left home right after graduating from high school. And now it's happening to you again. Harry chose me over you as his true love. So, now you're getting pushed out of another house where no one loves you. Don't worry, I'll take real good care of Harry for you. Allison, you never told me there was a kid.
Oh, yeah, her. Wait, you really didn't know?
No! When I brought my stuff to Harry's house this afternoon, there was some little girl watching TV in the living room.
The girl with a bob haircut and a mole on her chin?
Yes! That girl!
That's Harry's daughter, Natalie.
What's the deal here? Don't kids always go with their moms in a divorce?
Not always. In our case, it made sense for Natalie to stay with Harry, so she did. If you want more details, go ask Harry yourself. It's none of my concern anymore.
Hold on! You mean I'm gonna have to deal with this kid in the house? She's just gonna get in my way!
If you don't like it, you can always break up with him.
We got married today.
That was fast. Well, I'm busy moving into my new place, so I'm gonna go.
Lana, you have to do something about this. You take the kid. How are we supposed to enjoy our life as newlyweds with some kid in the way? Lana, you have some explaining to do.
What now, Allison?
What's this about us having to move out by the end of the month? I like this house. I don't want to move. What's going on? It's our second day married and there's been nothing but problems.
Oh, you poor, poor thing.
Stop mocking me and start giving me some answers.
Ugh, Harry always was one to leave out the most important details.
What do you mean?
That house is actually employee housing owned by the company I work for.
Really?
I'm the employee, and I moved out. Did you think my company would just let him keep living there? There's a new manager starting next month who needs the house.
This is the worst.
Oh, and by the way, employees only have to pay 20% of the market rate for rent. Just so you don't get surprised when you see how much rent is due this month now that I'm gone.
Great. I guess we'll just have to move into employee housing from Harry's company.
Well, they don't have employee housing.
They don't?
So you'll just have to find an apartment and pay rent like the rest of us.
How much is the rent going to be this month?
We were paying $300 while I was there, so multiply that by 5.
1,500?
Wow, I'm impressed, Allison. Did you do that math in your head? I don't know what kind of place you had in mind, but on just Harry's income, you're probably gonna have to settle for something a lot smaller than that house.
No way!
And you should probably have a talk with Harry and Natalie about how you're gonna handle your lowered standard of living.
What do you mean?
Just so you know, when we were going through the divorce settlement, it was decided that I would get all of our savings as compensation for his infidelity. So Harry's gonna be pretty hard up for money for the foreseeable future.
No savings?
Also, his salary was lower than mine.
It was? Why is this happening to me?
I gotta get back to unpacking. Good luck with Harry!
Hey, wait!
Goodbye!
Hey, Lana, didn't you forget something? Something really important?
Did I leave something behind in the house?
No, not something, someone.
What?
Child support.
Child support?
You gotta pay child support for Natalie. She's your kid, so pay up. You'll be hearing from my lawyer soon enough. Let's see, $200,000 should be enough.
I'm not paying a cent.
Excuse me?
Allison, I have no legal obligation to pay child support for Natalie.
But you're her mother.
Ugh, didn't Harry tell you anything?
Tell me what?
I don't believe this. First, go ask Harry about Natalie. This is something for him to explain, not me.
Huh? Hey, Lana, what gives? You still haven't paid the child support you owe. Don't you feel bad for abandoning your own child like this? You deadbeat mom, LOL.
Ugh! Allison, I don't owe any child support.
Harry says we should get as much as we can from you. He's on my side. So hurry up and wire the $200,000, deadbeat.
Why don't you tell that to Natalie's mom?
But you're Natalie's mom.
Oh, you two really were meant for each other. An inept lying nincompoop and his brain-dead ditzy mistress.
Would you please stop insulting me and tell me what's going on?
Fine. Really, it's Harry who should be telling you this, but since you both seem to have the communication skills of a rotten banana, I'll tell you.
So tell me already.
Natalie isn't my child.
What?
Nothing against Natalie, but she's Harry's love child.
You mean he...
Yes, she's the daughter of Harry's first mistress. About a year ago, Child Protective Services came to Harry and said that her mother disappeared, so Harry was responsible for her. That was the first time I heard about Natalie's existence.
That sounds like a bad soap opera plot.
That's why I've been going back and forth about divorcing him for the past year. It wasn't Natalie's fault. I felt bad for her. So I cooked her meals, did her laundry, all that stuff. But for all intents and purposes, Harry and my relationship has been over for some time now.
Then why did you only divorce recently?
That's on Harry. He knew that divorcing me would mean losing my income in our house. So he wouldn't agree to the divorce, and our relationship was at a stalemate. But then, out of the blue, who should come along but you, Allison?
Me?
Once Harry met the love of his life, he suddenly became much more motivated to divorce me. Which brings us to where we are now.
Wait, don't tell me. Are you glad I took Harry from you? Are you happy that you got divorced?
Yep. But back to the topic at hand. I never legally adopted Natalie, so we have no official relationship, legal or otherwise. Harry always had sole custody of her. So, now that we're divorced, I have no legal obligation to pay child support for her.
No, come on. I thought we could use Natalie to get money out of you. Now what are we gonna do?
Yeah, I figured that's what all this was about.
Hey, Lana. We moved into a cheap studio apartment the other day. We all have to sleep in the same room, so I can't have any adult time with Harry. I don't have any privacy. Natalie doesn't listen to a thing I say. I hate this.
Sounds like you should just divorce him.
But I don't have anywhere else to go.
Uh-oh. Let me guess. Mom and Dad told you not to marry your sister's ex-husband, you did it anyway, and now they've cut you off. I bet Dad threw in a pot shot at me like, "Don't go chasing after your worthless sister's used goods," or something like that.
How did you know?
That's just about the only reason I could think of for you not being able to go back and live with Mom and Dad again.
Lana, can I divorce Harry and come live with you?
Nope.
Why not?
I'm moving into company housing again. Only their employees and their spouses are allowed.
You're the only person I can count on. Please, you have to help me.
Allison, have you ever thought of just getting a job yourself?
Why would I do that?
If you can't make ends meet on one income, what other choice do you have?
But I don't wanna.
You have two choices. Choice number 1, divorce Harry and get a job. Choice number 2, stay married to Harry and get a job.
Is there a third choice?
This is what you get for being a spoiled brat who's never had to work a day in her life.
Hey, that's not true. I have so worked a day in my life.
Ah, yes, that one day when you showed up to work and quit an hour later? I hope you can last longer than that this time around.
Lana, please.
You're gonna have to get yourself out of this mess. Bye-bye. A few months after my divorce, my parents called me for the first time in about 10 years. They graciously invited me to move back in with them and take care of them once they got too old to take care of themselves. I guess they were planning on having Allison take care of them, and they only asked me since she wasn't an option anymore. I said no and hung up. Also, apparently Allison is infertile. I guess she should have thought twice about messing around with so many guys in her younger years. Those chickens came home to roost. When Harry found out, he divorced her right away and kicked her out of their apartment the next day. She tried running home crying to our parents, but they were still mad at her for marrying Harry against their wishes and sent her packing. I haven't heard or seen anything of her since then.